The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. During the dark years of World War II, four siblings, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy Pevensey, were forced to leave London because of the dangerous air raids. Their mother sent them away to the countryside for safety. After a long train journey through rainy fields and empty villages, the children arrived at a massive old mansion owned by an elderly professor named Professor Kirk. The house felt ancient and mysterious. Endless hallways stretched into shadows, giant portraits stared from the walls, and every wooden floor creaked like the house was alive. The children struggled to adapt to their new life. Peter tried to act mature and responsible. Susan focused on being practical and careful. Edmund complained constantly and mocked everyone. Lucy, the youngest, remained cheerful and curious despite everything. One rainy afternoon, while playing hide-and-seek inside the mansion, Lucy opened the door of a strange wardrobe hidden in an empty room. She expected to find coats and dusty shelves, but instead she stepped deeper and deeper into cold fur coats until suddenly her feet touched soft snow. She emerged into a magical winter forest illuminated by glowing lamppost light. Snowflakes drifted silently from the sky. Tall pine trees surrounded her, and everything felt strangely peaceful. Near the glowing lamppost, Lucy encountered a faun named Mr. Tumnus, half man, half goat, carrying parcels and an umbrella. Shocked to see a human girl, he introduced himself politely and invited her to his cave for tea. Inside the warm cave, Lucy listened as Tumnus played music on a flute while the fireplace crackled. But eventually Tumnus became emotional and confessed a terrible truth. Narnia was ruled by the White Witch, an evil queen who had cursed the land with endless winter. Always winter, never Christmas. The witch feared humans because of an ancient prophecy saying two sons of Adam and two daughters of Eve would one day defeat her and restore peace to Narnia. Tumnus admitted he had been ordered to capture Lucy and hand her over to the witch. But after meeting her, he could not betray her. Instead, he guided Lucy safely back to the wardrobe. When Lucy returned home, only seconds had passed in the real world. Her siblings refused to believe her story about a magical, snowy kingdom. Edmund mocked her endlessly, making Lucy upset. Days later, while hiding from the strict housekeeper, all four children climbed into the wardrobe together and accidentally entered Narnia. The magical land was real. The frozen forest stretched endlessly beneath gray skies. Soon they discovered that Mr. Tumnus had been arrested by the witch's secret police for helping Lucy escape. Lucy felt heartbroken and blamed herself. As the children traveled deeper into Narnia, Edmund secretly wandered away after hearing strange bells in the distance. He encountered the White Witch herself. The witch appeared beautiful but terrifying. Pale skin, icy crown, cold eyes like frozen glass. She rode a sleigh pulled by white wolves across the snow. Pretending kindness, she offered Edmund magical Turkish delight and hot chocolate. The enchanted candy filled Edmund with greedy desire, making him crave more and more. The witch manipulated him carefully. She asked about his siblings and promised to make him a prince, maybe even king, if he brought the others to her castle. Lonely and resentful toward Peter, Edmund fell into her trap. Meanwhile, the other siblings met a pair of talking beavers who guided them to safety. Mr. Beaver explained the prophecy and spoke of Aslan, the great lion, the true king of Narnia. At the mention of Aslan's name, something powerful stirred inside the children. Hope returned to the frozen land. The beavers warned them that the White Witch planned to kill them. They began a dangerous journey across snowy rivers and forests toward Aslan's camp at the stone table. But Edmund betrayed them. He secretly escaped during the night and traveled alone to the witch's castle through brutal snowstorms. When he finally arrived, exhausted and frozen, the witch became furious after learning his siblings had escaped. She no longer treated Edmund kindly. Instead, she revealed her cruel nature. Inside her dark castle stood hundreds of stone statues, creatures she had turned to stone with her wand. The halls echoed with fear and silence. Edmund realized too late that he had trusted a monster. As the witch prepared to hunt the remaining children, something miraculous began happening across Narnia. The snow started melting. Ice cracked across rivers. Green grass emerged from beneath the frost. Flowers bloomed. The witch's endless winter was finally weakening because Aslan had returned. Then Father Christmas appeared, bringing gifts to the children. Peter received a sword and shield. Susan received a magical bow and horn. Lucy received a healing potion and small dagger. Father Christmas warned them that a great battle was approaching. Eventually, the children reached Aslan's camp. Aslan was enormous, majestic, and powerful beyond words. Golden fur shimmered beneath the sunlight, and every creature respected him deeply. Yet his eyes carried gentleness and wisdom. Lucy and Susan immediately trusted him. Aslan welcomed the children warmly and prepared his army for war against the witch. Soon, Edmund was rescued during a daring mission led by Aslan's followers. Injured and ashamed, Edmund apologized sincerely to his siblings. Peter forgave him, and for the first time, Edmund began changing into a better person. However, the witch demanded justice according to ancient magic. Because Edmund had betrayed his family, his life legally belonged to her. That night, Aslan secretly made an agreement with the witch. In exchange for Edmund's freedom, Aslan would sacrifice himself. Lucy and Susan secretly followed Aslan as he walked sadly toward the stone table. Creatures loyal to the witch surrounded him, mocking and humiliating him. The witch shaved his mane and tied him down upon the ancient stone altar. Despite having the power to destroy them all, Aslan remained silent. Then the witch killed him. Lucy and Susan cried beside Aslan's lifeless body through the dark night. But at sunrise, something incredible happened. The stone table cracked apart with a thunderous sound. Aslan returned to life. He explained that deeper magic existed beyond the witch's understanding. When an innocent victim willingly sacrifices themselves for a traitor, death itself begins to reverse. Filled with joy, Lucy and Susan climbed onto Aslan's back as he raced across Narnia. Together they stormed the witch's castle, where Aslan breathed upon the stone statues and restored them to life. Meanwhile, Peter led Narnia's army into a massive battle against the witch's forces. Centaurs charged across the battlefield. Giants smashed the earth. Griffins flew overhead while wolves attacked from every direction. Peter fought bravely, protecting his people despite overwhelming fear. The White Witch entered the battlefield personally, turning soldiers into stone with her wand. Edmund, risking his life, charged toward her and destroyed her wand, preventing her from using its magic. Finally, Aslan leaped into battle. In one fierce attack, he defeated the White Witch forever. Her army collapsed, and peace returned to Narnia. After the victory, the four children were crowned kings and queens at Cair Paravel. King Peter the Magnificent, Queen Susan the Gentle, King Edmund the Just, Queen Lucy the Valiant. Years passed peacefully. The children ruled Narnia wisely as adults. They hunted through forests, attended royal celebrations, and protected the kingdom together. One day, while chasing a white stag through the woods, they accidentally discovered the lamppost again. Passing through the wardrobe, they suddenly returned to the old mansion, transformed back into children instantly. No time had passed in the real world. Though nobody believed their story, the Pevensey children knew the truth forever. They had once ruled a magical kingdom beyond a wardrobe, and Narnia would always remain part of them.